Hey guys, looks like it's time for a beer. What do you think? I think so. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Greg. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. Today's beer is from Starr Hill. This is their Psycho Kilter, a wee heavy ale. The gift of great beer is their motto. Mark Thompson, I have met him, good dude, does some great stuff up there. This is 9.3% ABV. This bomber was $10.99. Fairly pricey beer for a beer that is brewed 2 hours up the road here. I mean, a lot of times you can justify these big prices by having to come across the country or across the pond or wherever they come from, but this is an $11 beer and it's brewed right up the road here. So not a big fan of paying that kind of price for a beer that's just right up the street. Even though it's a 9.3% beer, it takes a lot of malt, a lot of extra care to brew a beer that big to be good. So not just a bunch of alcohol in a bottle. So with that being said, let me read what's on the bottle. Here it says, if I can read. Start here. Inspired by the passion of founder Mark Thompson, good guy, I met the guy. Mission to share the gift of great beer, Starr Hill Brewery began operations in a small Charlottesville, Virginia storefront in September of 1999. The brewery shared its space with the legendary Starr Hill Music Hall, and the synergy of great beer and great music was born. In 2005, Starr Hill Brewery moved from its small brewing operation to a larger facility several miles outside of Charlottesville, nestled in the rolling foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Starr Hill currently sells beer throughout the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast and is one of the fastest growing microbrews in the United States. It does not surprise me. Starr Hill Psycho Kilter is a full-bodied wee heavy brewed in the style of traditional Scottish ales. Its usually malty nose with hints of roastiness gives way to a full sweet palate with low but perceptible hop bitterness, a lingering warmth balance in the rich dominant maltiness. And I don't doubt that one bit. Going back to what the beer, and it just disappeared. Alright, I like when it does that. Electronics, you just touch it and it just disappears. This beer is, like I said, 9.3, IBUs at 24. Let's get the cap off of this one. Alright, while I'm doing this, the food pairings for this beer, the cuisine's buttery brie, Gouda, Havarti Swiss, meat is smoked meat and salmon. Glasswares, pint, Becker, Stein, tumbler mug, snip or tulip. I got the double glass here, guys. Into the glass. This beer can be cellared if you want to cellar it. Alright, there it is so you can see it. It's got a real nice label there. I like that label. Mark does some good stuff. I mean, he's just like all the rest of the brewery. He likes to do good beers, and he does a really great lineup. Northern Lights and all the beers he does is festive, and there's so many good beers he does. Jomo, but he likes to experiment too. A lot of his experimental beers come out in these bomber size, so they don't always show up in the grocery stores and stuff. You have to find them other places like the craft beer stores and stuff. Still working on a craft beer store, guys. The ABC man saying we got to sell $1,000 worth of cheese and be classified as a gourmet shop to sell beer to go, craft beer to go, and home brew supplies. That blows. I'm not doing it. I'm not selling cheese just to sell beer that nobody's drinking there. These people, they're on crack or something. I don't know what's up with these ABC people. They suck. Over into the light. It is a rich red ruby color. I can see the bulb through it. It is a very clear beer. A lot of bubbles streaming up, reinforcing the head that we poured. Not too many big bubbles. Most of them is pretty small, and they're dissipating pretty quickly. So let's get a nose on it. Exactly what it says it is. I'm getting the rich, sweet maltiness. It's almost like a brown sugar or a candied sugar smell. Very sweet, very rich, very pleasant. For as big as alcohol as it is, at 9.3%. Not getting into that on the nose. Wow. Smells very delicious and nice for a cool February evening. They would call it for snow flurries. It's allowed to be snow flurrying out there now. It hadn't quite done it earlier when I got home, but it may be out there now. Well, smells pretty good. Cheers to Mark Thompson, friend of mine. Do the top of the Hops Beer Festivals, and he's there. I got to meet him, and real nice guy. Really passionate about what he does, and his beers tell that. Cheers, everybody. Oh yeah. Very upfront beer. A little salty. It smells sweeter than it really is. The balance is incredible. It's not too sweet and it's not too bitter. I mean, you could probably actually sit and chug this, and you could actually get in trouble chugging a 9% beer. Very interesting. A little different than what most wee heavies taste like. But it's right out of the fridge. Look at the lacing on the glass here. We're going to let it warm up, and I'm sure it's going to change because a lot of these beers do, the bigger beers like this. And we'll come back and we'll do the final chug on this one. I'm sure it's going to change, guys. So I'm on the fence right now. I'm going to reserve judgment. Local beer, you know I'm going to support these guys. And from what I'm saying right now, it's between a B and an A. Stick around, let's see where we end up. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. This is an awesome beer. Mark, thumbs up. Very tasty beer. Very well made beer. Big alcohol, no taste as far as the alcohol presence. Big taste as far as the wee heavy. Very well balanced though. I mean, you're getting all this taste and there is no alcohol to go with it. So, very tasty. And it's room temperature. I've been sipping on it about 30 minutes now. So, the biggest deterrent to this beer is, and I know being a brewer, what it costs to brew a beer, but this beer is $11 for a 22-ounce bomber of this. So that's what they're charging here for this. And to me, it is a great beer, but it is a pricey beer for a local beer. So that's the biggest deterrent to me, is it's a little on the pricey side, even though it's a big beer and it costs a lot to brew a big beer like this. It's a local beer, so I can imagine what it would cost them to send this. I mean, it would be $20, $22 a bomber if it was available in California. So I got a problem with that. So even though it's a local beer and I want to support them and it's a great beer, it's a pricey beer. So final chug. Oh wow! Great beer, and Beer Advocate doesn't have anything on this because it's so new. But there are some reviews that's on there, and most of them are fairly positive. I don't see anybody saying it's a terrible beer. So, with that being said, and trying to support the local breweries, And it doesn't have the date on it either, unless it's something digitized on here that I'm not seeing. And it could be, because a lot of these guys like to put that black digitized stuff on here, but I don't see anything on here as far as dating. Oh, here we go. Oh, I apologize, Mark. Great job. It's turned sideways on here, right below the government warning. And we all read the government warning on these beers, don't we? 12/19/2012. So this was put in the bottle on December 19th of 2012. So not that old, not even 2 months old. So very tasty. Biggest deterrent is the price. If this was $3.99 to $5.99, this would probably get the A if it had a date and the price come together. Being this expensive, I'm gonna have to drop down to the 9. So it's not a 10 beer. It's a 10 taste beer, but the price makes it beyond that. So I take all this stuff into consideration, guys. It could be a 10 beer, but if you're getting a 10 beer and you're paying twice as much for it than you think you should, it's not a 10 beer after you pay double the price. So I want to support these guys, but $11 for this might be a little on the extreme. So if it had been $7.99 or $8.99, I'd probably give it to 10. But being $10.99, that stretches the boundary right there for that. So I may be nitpicking here, guys, but that's the way I feel about it. It didn't impress me as an $11 beer. It impressed me as a $8 or a $9 beer. Really good. But $11 beer, it didn't impress me enough to get the A, so I'm going to give it the 9. If you've had this beer, give me some comments back on this one. Mark, sorry to downgrade you because of the price, and I know it costs a lot to brew this stuff, but it wasn't to that extreme to me, guys. So with that being said, if you've had it, give me a comment back on this one, guys. Hit the like button. Let's see what's in the fridge tomorrow. Rate, comment, subscribe, as always. See y'all tomorrow.